What is up, guys? Weekend here again. I am going over the patch notes today. They actually came out last night. I did not see them when they first came out. I was busy, so this is gonna be literally my first reaction to most of the stuff. Everything I haven't really heard off Twitter and stuff like that. So go ahead and jump into it. We'll look. I'm not gonna look at the new skins, but there are gonna be obviously new skins. You've got an expelled hell skin, some Sun Wu Jing, Sun Wukong. I don't even know what that is. There is an on her skin, Squirrel Squad Ratatasker. That could be pretty cool actually. They already have a good. They already have the Fenrir skin though. So I don't know about that one. New Mercury skin, a Moose Chiron skin. That'll be. I think that one and the rat skin will be the best. Maybe even the on her skin. All right, let's look. There's no achievements. Fafnir as fat. Oh, these are all achievements. We're not worried about achievements. UT Amuz and Cab coming out for an icon. There's some miscellaneous changes. We don't really care about that. This is what we care about. Item changes. Blood Forage. Reduce movement speed from 20% to 10% when the Blood Shield is active. So the Blood Shield is the passive. When you kill somebody with Blood Forage, you get this shield, the shield that gives you health based on the person you kill. Also gives you movement speed. I don't remember exactly how long it lasts. It's a pretty decent amount of time. So now instead of 20% movement speed when you kill somebody and get that shield, you only get 10. I don't build Blood Forge on anybody. Mercury would be the one that you would think might build it. I still build Aussie on Mercury. So this doesn't change anything for me. Blood Forge is not that good of an item. Demonic Grip. Stacks now provide 10% reduction and cap at 3 stacks, change from 8 reduction at 4 stacks. So it was 32 and right? 8, 16, 24, 32. So it was 32% total. Now it's back up to 36. I'm pretty sure this is what it was before, if I'm not mistaken. It was something similar to this. So they're pretty much trying to make it so your auto attacks build up the protection shred faster like it used to be, which makes more sense. Because the item Demonic Grip was still being picked up, just not as much. But Demonic Grip and Executioner are pretty much the same item. One's magical, one's physical, and Executioner stopped being picked up altogether. So it seems as though they did the same thing. 12% reduction, caps at 3 stacks, so 36%. They just want, I think they're trying to bring Executioner back to the meta. I don't know if that will change anything, because it's mainly on Hunters and very few Assassins. But it's mainly Hunters. I don't know that that will change too much. Throwing Dagger. It's received a downward adjustment. Throwing Dagger has found a place in allowing more hunters to flourish, and this is something that we like, but they want it to be balanced. So they reduce the physical power from 25 to 15. They don't want you to power spike as hard with this item, I guess. That's rank 2, so it's kind of weird. Don't really think that's too game changing. On Mercury, it kind of sucks because having 25 power on Mercury with rank 2 was nice, since it doesn't give anything else but power. Golden Bow, this is the rank 3 of it, now gives 50 power instead of 55, so you lose 5 power at the end, you lose 10 power at rank 2. That's not game changing. This is still going to be good on Mercury. You get the movement speed, all that stuff still, which is good. Golden Bow will still be played on built on Mercury 100%. I don't see that changing. Vanguard, looks like they're buffing it. Remove magical protections, physical protection increase from 5 to 10. Wow. So for Guardians in the solo lane who build Vanguard, there aren't many. Sobek's probably one of the few I can think of. They will have extra physical protection against their laning, if they're laning against a physical person. They remove the magical protections, which is kind of sucky because it made supports that did build it a little bit tankier in the team fights for the first mid harpies. Not going to be game breaking. This could be awesome though. It could help a lot for like the solo lane matchups and some of the duo lane matchups. We'll see how that goes. It will be interesting to see if that gets picked up at all. Now here is the biggest, most important change. Well, it could be. It could be. I knew Soul Reaver got changed. I didn't know what happened to it, so let's see. Passive damage reduced from 15% to 10%. So it's only doing 10% when it procs. That's still a decent chunk. 15% is a little bit more, obviously, but 10% can still be a lot of health, especially on tanks. Not that big of a change. Passive cooldown reduction from 60 to 40. So you lose 5% damage, but it's up 20%, 20 seconds faster. That's interesting because that literally, they removed a third of its damage, but they also removed a third of its cooldown timer. So technically, you can get off the same amount of damage in the same amount of time if you if you were doing this multiple times. That's interesting. So if you did this, if you got Soul Reaver proc 3 times in what is that 120 seconds, it would be the same as this procking twice in the 120 seconds. So that's interesting. It's just less overall burst. Still gonna be pretty good damage. I think it'll still be key in most builds, to be honest with you. Ooh, they're nerfing Kwang. Okay, and they nerfed the 1. Interesting. So Water Illusion is Kwang's 1. It's his dash. Damage reduced from 90, 140, 190, 240, 290, 270, 120. Wow. They took 20 damage off. And they reduced the scaling by 10%. Considering the 1 is one of the last things you level up, it's you level up your 3, your 2, your ult. Actually, you level up your 3, your 2, your 1, your ult, like max in that order. So it does kind of affect a little bit. There's still going to be a lot of bursts. Like it's 20 less base damage and 10% less scaling. Still going to be hitting for like 400 plus. It's still going to be a decent amount of damage. It's probably going to hit harder than 400, obviously, at max rank. So that change probably won't nerf him into the ground. If it had been like a cooldown timer change, that might have changed him a lot. Explosive bolts fixed an issue where explosive bolts could miss enemies at max range. Weird. Okay, so that was just a bug. Osiris cooldown on his tether. That's his damage reducing. That stuns at the end of it. They reduced it by 3 seconds. That could be what makes Osiris play it a little bit more, honestly. Osiris, the use of his abilities and his positioning is actually really important right now. He doesn't have a lot of mobility, but he does have a lot of presence if used correctly. A lot of people don't know how to use them correctly, so this could allow for, hey, I messed up using my 3, my tether. It's going to be up again a little bit faster, which is good. Ratatasker got nerfed, it looks like. Healing reduced from the Acorn from 20 to 15. I'm pretty sure that's on hit. So, and the scaling reduced from 40 to 30. The healing's not broken. It is a very good sustain. It's not bad by any means. It's good, but it's not broken. So this could be a decent little tone down. I'm guessing they don't want to touch his damage or anything. Acorn Blast fixed an issue where the hitbox of the Acorn projectiles were too large and not matching their visual. Okay, I don't really know what that's going to change, if anything. All right, we got Susanoo. Is he getting nerfed more? Oh no, they're nerfing Susanoo more. Oh my gosh, this could be crazy. Him and Rat were easily like the top 2 junglers right now. So the fact that they're touching them, making them a little bit not as good, it could bring them out of the top 5. I don't know. We'll see what happens. So we got Stormcata, which I believe is the 1. Damage reduced. Base damage is reduced by 15. And dash speed reduced. I guess you dash slower, so it could be potentially canceled. That's interesting. I guess kind of like a NEM. Instead of like insta dash, it's a little bit slower. Your jet stream updated the sound effects. Cooldown of jet stream is teleport to an enemy from 6 to 8 seconds. This is still unaffected by cooldown reduction. Okay. So when you throw your 3 on Susanoo, you can teleport to it. And if you teleport, if you hit a creep or you hit a god, and then you teleport to it, it instantly reduces the cooldown. So they're upping the amount it actually, so it doesn't reduce as much. It's going to be on a longer cooldown basically after teleporting, which is really good. I said that needed to happen before. This could be a dramatic change for Susanoo, honestly. The damage isn't that much, but the cooldown is. That's going to reduce his mobility. It's still going to be a lot of mobility. We'll see how that changes, but I think that's going to have a significant effect. Thanatos, scaling increased by 10%. What? That's it? Scaling increased by 10%. That's all they touched on Thanatos. That is not going to bring Thanatos back into the meta. That's just not gonna. That's not gonna happen. That's not gonna happen. It's not gonna change anything. That does nothing. Your Soul Reap, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, is the Silence, the 3. I could be wrong here, but either way, let's assume it's a 3. Even if it's the 1, that scaling is not going to change anything. That is not Thanatos' problem. Ymir got changed. I heard about this one. Frostbite. Enemies affected by Frostbite now deal 10% less damage to all targets. So basically, all of Ymir's abilities put up Frostbite on somebody, and then when he auto attacks, he hits for like double damage or whatever. So now that also causes enemies to do 10% less damage. So if you stun, slow, whatever somebody, they will do 10% less damage. That's nice. I don't know that 10% is significant enough to make him like number 1. He might get played more. He'll probably get played more. He's not a bad support. He's just not the best. the fact that he has kind of like this less aggressive part to him, this part that actually is good defensively, could make him play more. We'll see what happens with that. I really am not sure how that is going to change too much. So like I said, Ymir probably get played a little bit more. I don't know if it'll change competitive too much. Thanatos will not get played. Like, that's not going to make him get played at all. Susano change could make him less potent. Probably will. He probably won't be like a first pick. Ratatasker, even with the healing reduction, I think he's still going to be a top pick, either in solo or jungle. Probably jungle, because he has a slow and stun, which is awesome for ganking and really good control. Osiris change, probably get him played in the solo a little bit more. Jingwei just got something that was bugged fixed. Alquang's still going to be just as annoying. He's not a top pick in the jungle. He is a top pick, so he's not the number one pick. You don't have to first pick Alquang. He is a good pick, though. He is still a top pick. This probably won't change that at all. Soul Reaver changed. I think Soul Reaver will still get picked. Mark of the Vanguard, this only affects a few people. Golden Bow changes. I don't know if that's going to really do much. Like I said, the power change sucks, but it's not game breaking. Executioner change, I don't know that will really, it could change up the hunter builds completely. I don't play hunters enough to know what that's going to affect, so we'll see. Demonic really still only gets picked up by certain gods and never stop getting picked up. Bloodforge change, I think Bloodforge is bad anyway, so I don't build it. So changes aren't too dramatic for me. The Susanoo change is probably the number one change that I'm going to take away from this. It's really interesting because I don't think he'll get played that much. So hopefully you guys like these patch notes. I will be coming out with some more videos, some more YouTube specific videos over the next. I'm just gonna keep pumping them out. Honestly, it's not only gonna be gameplay. So hopefully you guys like that content. You like this kind of content. Let me know what other changes you guys want to see, because I have a lot of stuff I want to see changed in Smite that isn't really getting touched or addressed. So we'll see what happens with that. And you guys just let me know what you guys want to see changed. Drop a sub to the channel if you enjoy the videos. It really does support me. I am grinding for that 100k subs. I'm almost at 50k now, so I'm really excited to get that 100k. That's one of my goals for the year. It was in January. That was one of my goals for YouTube. So hopefully we can get there sooner than the end of the year. Anyway, like I said, drop a sub, drop a like, and I will see you all in the video tomorrow.